Hikaru Nakamura, big congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a very interesting match. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and what is your take on what happened in the end here in the Armageddon?
Yeah, I mean, obviously after yesterday, I wanted to bid low just to ensure that I got black, and I did get it. But I think, I mean, my bid was probably okay, but the opening that I played was very shaky. Not so much in that it was that it wasn't playable, but it was a very double-edged position where I can win or I can lose because I'm sacking a pawn. And when you're in that situation and you're down on the clock, it's really not optimal. And I suspect I was okay at some point after I sacked the pawn, but with like 8 minutes, you kind of have to just go. You can't really think too long. And Wesley was definitely better. I don't know if he was ever winning. I mean, it was also very tricky because there were multiple times that I could go into a bishops of opposite color endgame, but I wasn't really sure whether that's a draw or whether I'm losing or what's going on. So I rejected that. And then, yeah, he made this one mistake when he allowed me to take on b3 with the queen to e2 check. If he doesn't do this, I think there's still a very good chance he wins. That being said, I had my optimal setup already where I'm guarding the pawn on a4. He can't really push b4, c4 without the pawns getting blockaded. So it would have been on Wesley to prove it, but he had chances for sure. But one blunder was too much.
How scientific do you get when making your bids in the Armageddon, Hikaru?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's about being scientific. I think it's that when Wesley and I play, we're both extremely solid. I mean, for the most part, we play the exact same openings with both colors. And so I just want to be black no matter what. I mean, I thought about going even lower than I bid. I mean, I thought about going below 8, but whoa. I mean, at some point you have to feel like if your opponent outbids you, it's what it is. Like you just play with the white pieces, you take the time advantage and try to win, as opposed to being really clever. I mean, yesterday Magnus and I got it down to like sub 9 minutes. And actually, a funny tidbit is that on the first day when I played, or the first match against Wesley, when I made my bid, the guy at chess.com, when I wrote like 9:28, I think it was, he's like, "Are you sure it's 15? It's a 15-minute game?" And it was kind of funny because obviously everyone is bidding well below 10 now. So, I mean, I think what I bid today was definitely very much on the edge. I find it hard to believe you can go much lower, but I found a way, and that's really all that matters.
Definitely.
Hikaru, congratulations. That was an absolutely thrilling Armageddon to watch. And I have to ask you about that first game against Wesley, the very last moment when you moved that king to f7. What happened there? Just take us through that situation.
I mean, the thing is, initially, I didn't realize that he could trade the queens. There was another variation where I think the queens get traded on like e6. I win the e pawn, but he can go like king g3 and f4, and that's winning. And so initially, I didn't realize that existed. And then I spot it, but then later, as we're getting low on time, I mean, I just played king f7 because I was sure queen e6 was the only move. For some reason, I just thought queen f3. I go queen f6, trade, king takes king e5, and I'm just winning because I win the pawn. But with the double pawns on the b file, it's actually losing. And yeah, I think pretty much as soon as I played it, he moved instantly. So it didn't like quite have time for it to register until after the draw occurred. But I did, in that split second, I kind of did realize that it was a mistake. But you know, it is what it is, and obviously it was a bit of a miracle, but that's how it goes.
When something like that happens, do you also think that shifts the momentum for you in a way that Wesley realizes he had this huge opportunity to take a match lead, but failed to do so in that critical moment?
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you miss a win-in-one where there's no counterplay, where you just trade into a king upon endgame, which you're going to win 100% of the time, I mean, it is somewhat devastating. I mean, that being said, it's very tricky too, because after that, I wasn't sure if I should just make the draw or if I should actually try to beat him, because Wesley obviously was frustrated. I could see it on his face, and so I had a decision too. But I figured at the end of the day, you know, I'd rather flip coins, and hopefully it comes up heads more times than it comes up tails.
And Hikaru, first of all, congratulations. Looking forward to tomorrow. You're playing Magnus at least once, maybe even 2 matches. What's your strategy going to be like as you aim for revenge?
You know, I don't know. I feel like the two matches that I played against Magnus, this one and also the famous one back in 2020 where we played over 7 days, which was also rather fittingly decided by an Armageddon. You know, I mean, we're both very good players. I mean, if there's anything, maybe I'll play with more risk because I do have to win 2 matches. You know, for example, say we get to an Armageddon tomorrow and I win that Armageddon, I still have to win another match. It's not as simple as winning 1 match. So, I mean, maybe I'll take more risk. It's hard to know, but it's always good to be in the finals, and it's always fun to play against Magnus. You know, we've played a lot over the years, and he's the best of the best. So if you want to win, you have to beat the best, and that's how I view it.
Yeah.
Hikaru, the chat has been asking this question a lot. We asked Magnus yesterday, so I have to ask you, which Pokemon is your favorite?
I mean, I've never played Pokemon. It's just not my thing. So, you know, I'm more of an old school guy. I played like the OG games, you know, the things like Diablo, Warcraft, StarCraft, like the real OG games, none of this new age hippie stuff. That's my answer.
Very cool, Hikaru. And well, we're all looking forward to your match against Magnus tomorrow. You're still unbeaten in the Air Things Masters. How happy are you with the way you're playing?
You know, that's actually an interesting question. You know, more broadly speaking, it's not even so much about this event, but when you think about tournaments, I mean, the classic question that you can ask top players is, you know, if you play 2 games and you draw 2 games, is that better than winning a game and losing a game? And most players would say that 2 draws is better. And in a match format, certainly it's much more important to not lose games than it is to say win a game and lose a game. So it's definitely benefited me being very solid. But at the same time, I mean, the drawback is when you play in, say, Swiss tournaments like the World Blitz or the World Rapid, and you have to win a lot of games. You know, if you draw too many games, bad things happen. So I'm happy that I've gone undefeated. I mean, against Wesley, I've had a couple of bad positions. Against Magnus in the first game, probably I was losing at one moment. So even though I haven't lost a game, it hasn't been like super solid. So I'm somewhat pleased with my play, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Mm-hmm. Wow, we're all so excited. Hikaru, it's been a treat to watch you in this tournament so far, and tomorrow is such a big day for all of us and for the chess fans. So I just want to look ahead a little more with that, on that with you. And just in your own words, what do you think that in this format, what is it that Magnus perhaps does better than you, and what is it that you do better than Magnus?
I mean, Magnus is much better at getting winning positions and converting them. That's a simple answer. I mean, I haven't really had many opportunities. I mean, I don't think I've had any real opportunities to win a game since the first day when I played against Gukesh. So he's very good at converting. I'm very good at defending and hanging on for a long time. I mean, I think that's the biggest difference between us, certainly. Again, you know, as far as the individual match yesterday, I mean, Magnus had some chances. Third game, maybe for like a move or two, I had some chances, but you know, it came down to Armageddon, and that's how it goes. I mean, could you really say that I was better than Wesley in either of these matches? I don't know if you could even really say that. I mean, I think Wesley was just as good as me. It's just that I got black in the critical game, and he wasn't able to beat me in either of the 2 matches. So I think the edges are very, very small, and I mean, I think we're both great competitors, and hopefully tomorrow will be fun.
Yeah. Are you enjoying this format, Hikaru, with double elimination, match format, Armageddon, bidding, everything going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think. I mean, to be truthful, I have to like the format because honestly, for the stronger players, double elimination is better. I mean, for someone like Wesley, for example, you know, after he lost to me, if he was done, he's done. But he had a chance to come back, had a chance to win today. So if I'm being truthful, double elimination definitely favors the stronger players because they have to have 2 bad days as opposed to 1 bad day. So you know, in general, it's very good for me. I think for the fans, though, it's also quite exciting because when, you know, somebody has a bad day, like Gukesh, for example, against me, I mean, he just was completely out of form, lost 2 games, and it's all over right there, basically. But he has a chance to come back. So I think that's helpful. And then also the fact that someone can lose a match and win two matches tomorrow to win the whole thing. I like it. I think it's good overall. And of course, it benefits me. So, I mean, of course it's good.
Yeah. Hikaru, we appreciate you talking to us, and we wish you best of luck in the grand final tomorrow.
Thank you so much, you guys.
All the best.